Hey guys, welcome back to Gaming Garbage where we take a look at games, chat about the gaming news in the industry, and of course, stream for fun. Today we're talking about something surprising, maybe not to some of us, but just kind of surprising that BluePoint Games is going to be shutting down. PlayStation just announced this today. So yeah, they will be shutting down BluePoint. They have done enhanced past titles, which they've done some really good ones, like Uncharted, Nathan Drake Collection, and also Shadow of the Colossus. And they also did the remake for Demon Souls, which was a launch title for the PlayStation 5, and had some pretty good high praise. So according to Bloomberg, we're finding out that they're going to have a dismissal of roughly 70 employees out of the 80 that they have. What they're going to do with the other 10, they haven't said. But yeah, this was basically following a review of the business. Then they're like, yeah, basically not making enough money or not really making any money at all. And so, yeah, the closure is scheduled for next month in March. And that's horrible. PlayStation spokesperson said, Bluepoint Games is an incredibly talented team, and their technical expertise has delivered exceptional experiences for the PlayStation community. We thank them for their passion, creativity, and craftsmanship. But we're going to fire you anyway. I mean, this is just so awful. Back in 2024, it was revealed that the studio was working on an original title. Additionally, the studio was reportedly working on a multiplayer live service God of War game, which that was canceled last year. And they probably really haven't had anything since. So this is really frustrating. They were working on at least probably two projects, according to this. But yeah, the big one that we learned of was the multiplayer God of War live service, which none of us wanted. But it was something that they could only get greenlit by Jim Ryan when he was CEO or president, basically, of PlayStation. And he loved everything live service because that was the trend. And so Bluepoint, mainly making just games for a while and then being pushed to making remasters and remakes, well, eventually they were like, hey, well, nothing else is getting greenlit, so hey, we need to make a live service game. The other studios under PlayStation, they're getting greenlit for live service games, so hey, we need to make one. And so they came up with a God of War live service multiplayer game. And then, well, when Concord happened, PlayStation was basically like, well, we're going to cancel like 10 of these games. They've canceled, I believe, roughly 12, and then Fair Games is just MIA, doesn't exist, probably going to be canceled as well since Jade is gone. And then we still have Marathon, which that's launching in a month. We'll see how that goes. And then they also just released Horizon Steel Frontiers, I believe it is, which is a mobile game by NCSoft, and then which looks way better than Horizon Hunter's Gathering, actually by Guerrilla Games. So I don't think that one's going to go over very well either. People didn't like it. And man, this is just really sad because Bluepoint does have a really good core team. And they're not overly big. They're able to make games actually pretty quickly. But I think the thing that is most sad is that PlayStation stopped letting them innovate. I think that's the worst thing. So let's actually go through their rap sheet. This is Bluepoint's actual website. And this is their logo if you've never really seen it before. But yeah, the last project was Demon Souls, which again launched in 2020 for the PlayStation 5. Before that was Shadow of the Colossus. Man, I love that game. I wish it would come back. They also did the collection for Uncharted, which was really good. Then they also did Gravity Rush, which a lot of people really enjoyed. They also did Flower, which maybe some of us played. They also helped work on Titanfall for the 360. They also worked on PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale for the Vita. Also the Metal Gear Solid HD collection for PlayStation 3 and 360. And then, of course, Eco and Shadow of Colossus collection, which was, 2011. That's wild. And yeah, you guys can check these out as well. But again, they've been around for a long time. God of War collection for PlayStation 3, which was 1, 2, and 3, I believe. And then, the first game was Blast Factor for 2006. And yeah, it's just kind of sad that that's their thing and it's over now. I wonder what they're all going to do, where they're going to go, what the other 10 are being reserved for. I'm not entirely sure, but I just feel like PlayStation is misusing and mishandling still some more of this stuff because they're still pushing live service. Even though Jim Ryan and that whole debacle wasn't enough. while they are still focusing on some single player games, they're still focusing on some live service stuff. I mean, Saros is probably going to be somewhat of a kind of a live service game where since it's a roguelite, running through and having some microtransactions in there. I have no doubt of that. Unless the studio has said something specifically, leave it down in the comments, let us know. And then the other game, too, is, they have Marvel's Wolverine, which that's coming out this year. And that one, too, is supposed to be pretty good. And they are working on some other games, but, they allow some games to be launched like baby steps for PlayStation. And on the other side of that coin, they're closing BluePoint, which I really think is a mistake because they've done some amazing stuff. So, this was really disheartening. I had to put this out today because, it's just more layoffs. It just shows that no matter how good your work is, no matter how well you do, you got to be putting something on the table. And, whatever they were working on, well, it's just basically not going to exist anymore. And it's going to exist under, Sony PlayStation and whatever they're going to do with those assets. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, I mean, they did Demon Souls and then couldn't get anything greenlit. And then God of War live service they were working on. And then that was canceled. And just, well, it's over. And I think that's a really horrible way to end the last 5 years that they've been working on something else. Maybe 6. Yeah, that's disheartening. So, yeah, they're gone. And I really don't think this is going to be the end either because PlayStation has a ton of studios under their name. Some of them that are kind of new, like Outlaw Games and Team LFG. Those are just some new studios that they've had in the last few years. And then, we still have Bungie, which is failing to make enough money for the studio. And, I'm sure there's some other stuff, too, coming down the pipe. We'll see what happens with Guerrilla Games when Horizon Hunter's Gathering comes out. Yeah, it's just disheartening. I still haven't seen the current state of play, so I'll have to take a look at that one. And I'll react to that. But, yeah, this was just disheartening, and it's just sad to see him go. So with that, folks, I'll see you guys on the next one.